Right guys, so before I start, I just want to show you this tweet by the colossal cunt that is Piers Morgan. Now, if there's anyone that you don't want to listen to, it's him. This is a man who hacked dead people's phones. I mean, why would you want to listen to a man like that? Plus he supports Trump, so that says it all. And his opinions are why this issue isn't talked about as much as it should be. Now recently, mental health has been brought to attention by Rennie, the Premier League footballer who was detained by police under the Mental Health Act. Now, my thoughts are with him and everyone connected with him, but it annoys me that it takes a big star like him to bring attention to such a serious issue. It's an issue that we should be aware of every single day, and it's an issue that we don't look out for enough. Drawing from personal experience, I find it hard to talk about my feelings, but when I did speak about my feelings, it helped. People are willing to help you, and that's what you don't realise. A lot of men hide in fear of losing pride, or being laughed at, or being called a pussy. But in actual fact, you're stronger if you open up to someone rather than putting on a front. As of January 2017, 12.5% of men are suffering from common mental health issues, and those figures are rising. Just over 3 out of 4 suicides are by men under 35. That's a massive 76%. And that figure can be lower if we draw more attention to this issue. Suicide isn't the only option, and we can prevent this. Men are more likely to become drug and alcohol dependent, and that's 8.7% of men compared to 3.3% of women. And the horrible thing is, men are less likely to get a referral to the increasing access of psychological therapies than women are. The majority of men said that they'd take time off work for chest pains, lumps, general illnesses, but less than 1 in 5 men said they would for anxiety, 19%, or feeling low, 15%. Men report lower life satisfaction than women do, and those aged 45 to 59 recording the lowest levels. 73% of adults who go missing are men. 87% of rough sleepers are men, 95% of the prison population are men, and 72% of them suffer from 2 or more mental health disorders. But mental health can affect kids in high school as well. In 2013, only 53.6% of boys received A star to C grades in GCSEs. Men may fail to recognise or even act on warning signs, or even unwilling to seek support. Men try to use self-management strategies, which is more damaging to themselves rather than receiving professional help. Mental health comes in all forms, but the most common is depression. So here are 12 signs on how to spot depression. Number 1, fatigue. Often physical and mental changes occur, like slower movements, slower speech, and slower thought process. Number 2, too much or too little sleep. Insomnia, waking up very early, or excessive sleeping are signs, and they're very common signs of depression. Number 3, stomach and backache. Abnormal amounts of constipation and diarrhea, as well as headaches and backaches, are common signs brought on by depression. Number 4, irritability. Instead of feeling down, men might feel irritated or grouchy, which is brought on by the negative thoughts. Number 5, concentration. These negative thoughts cause distraction and difficulty concentrating, which makes it hard to perform simple tasks. Number 6, anger. Depressed males who know something is wrong will overcompensate with anger and hostility just to prove that he's still strong. Number 7, stress. Men with depression are more likely to pass it off as stress because stress is more socially acceptable than to have depression. Number 8, anxiety. Anxiety links strongly to depression. It's more common in women, but men are more likely to talk about being anxious rather than being sad. Number 9, substance abuse. Like I said earlier, the overuse of alcohol and drugs could be seen as a coping mechanism, but it's not, and it won't help you at all. Number 10, sexual dysfunction. Lack of desire or erectile dysfunction is something that men fail to report. Although erectile dysfunction isn't directly linked to depression, it could be brought on by other mental health disorders. Number 11, indecision. This is the inability to make a decision in fear of how it will affect you. For example, paying a bill, having your electric cut off because you didn't pay the electricity bill, even though you had the money to do so, you just couldn't bring yourself to do it. And number 12, suicidal thoughts. Women are more likely to attempt suicide, but men are 4 times more likely to die if they do attempt suicide because they choose a more lethal method. Older men are at higher risk because doctors are more likely to miss symptoms in this age group. Over 70% of men saw their doctor within a month of their suicide. And depression isn't a normal part of aging in men and women. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you do suffer from any of these symptoms, don't be afraid to speak out. And if you think you see someone with these symptoms, don't be afraid to speak to them. Help them, because you could save a life. If there's anything I haven't touched on or you would like me to speak about, then please leave a comment. And if you look in the description, I've left a few websites that expand further on the subject, as well as a suicide hotline number. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but most importantly share it, because if you share it, it could help someone. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.